Well, hello, everyone. Happy Fun Day Sunday. It is Sunday. Oh, it is going to be something else, huh? Well, anyway, yeah, second Trump assassination. Jesus Christ. Well, people are really, so anyway, I had to get some stuff at the store today. I picked up some stuff, I was like, Jesus. Prices are amazing, and they even have to lock up the shoelaces. I needed it for my bonnet. Let me show you. Needed it for this. And hey, hi Chris. Hi. Yeah, I have the. Yeah, I've never had so much shit this weekend. I'm done sewing, but I still have to buy some more stuff, to finish it off. I have more hemming to do, and I'm like, so yeah. So here's the thing: there's weird times. People are taking it as normal, and I'm going, well, that is really odd, And I have more seen this here than anywhere else, but I've heard about it too in Vegas. So you're a manager, and you know the guy that's hiring, or you're the person that can hire. You just go up to the one manager, hey, I'm hiring this person. This is my lover. I got mad at my other lover at work that still works here, and I'm going to go get somebody who I don't know how is going to work. And that person is going to spread rumors on that person that I don't like. And they're going to tell everyone that that person is a very bad person and try to tell them all kinds of stuff because they consider the other person now a a threat, and it will always be that way because it's just the way it goes. If you're going to go against another lover to another lover, come on. That's already putting a work environment as bad, but I've heard about it. When you hear about things that they consider that normal. And I was like, wow, that's something really unusual because of the fact that so many years ago, that wouldn't be considered a norm. Yeah, I'll be going to bed and taking a quick nap and then getting up, and I got to go to work. I'm glad to say our stress at work has nothing to do with human beings. It's to do with other stuff that's external that we're just dealing with it. And that's fine. When you're dealing with stuff that is what I call the love triangle from hell, and no one ever wins. Somebody's got to lose. You know, you play dumb games. What do you get? Stupid prizes. And I quit playing a long time ago on those stupid games. Another thing I've noticed, and they did change that. They had hired. They had. I don't know what it would be called, But whoever, it was a Verizon store, you know. I got picked up by one of my boyfriends was a Verizon store, manager, and he acted, yeah, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when it came to certain things. And it's just use your knowledge, walk away from an argument, and it would have been good. No, so it was like one of those situations. So yeah, they actually redid that. I'm guessing somebody must have gotten pissed off and did something because they had a big change in the management, I was told. The managers there, when I first went, were very helpful and very businesslike. I've gone there without my wedding band many times because I was a bartender, and a lot of times I was just, it would just fall off because I was losing so much weight. And I never had them come on to me or anything. But boy, well, I also was skinnier now, so okay, yeah. But yeah, that's how I met my one boyfriend, Tyler. Ooh, boy, that was a wild one. But besides that, oh, hello, second person. Please put a thumbs up. It does help with the algorithm. And help yourself in chatting and saying how you feel. We're talking about weird stuff. And a lot of people will consider it normal. Normal, how you are. Most of the people I ever known, if somebody comes into a store a lot, they'll ask someone out. And that's what never happens to me. They always, yeah, I don't have a problem getting a date. It's getting a relationship. So I have been sustaining and talking to someone long distance and seeing how that works. Because I found out that, well, I misconstrued something about something, and I, yeah. So I'm very happy to say that, it's all patched up. I really, we're trying to figure out what to do because the distance is a lot. In order to have a relationship, you got to see each other. Yeah, my boyfriend told me that every time he talks to me or chats with me, he gets all excited. So I'm hoping to see how this goes. Yeah, I'm really nervous about that. And also, I spent a lot of time pinning. My dress is a bit long, and I don't want it ruined on the end. So I am going to, I've been doing a lot of hemming, the hems of the ends, and I'm going to have to get more um, supplies to finish my hemming. But I did do one of the hems totally because there's two. I got the bottom dress and I got the top dress, so it's going to be a hot one. Ooh, boy. So I'm going to look up medieval hairstyles and do that. Mm. I had to update this, you have to update the Chrome or whatever, and I wasn't getting chat for a while, and then when I would get chat, I wouldn't get the hearts or the smiley faces or anything like that, And I was like, what the hell? So anyway, it's been for a while. There's been a lot of police activity. Today didn't seem that much, but boy, yesterday and the whole rest of the week, it was a lot of police activity. I can't complain. I've been pretty good, you know. I went and every so often I will take to all my recipients, to everyone. Put a thumbs up, it helps with the algorithm. Anyway, I had taken some Chinese noodles. I like them. I have no worry about retaining water, so the MSG and stuff doesn't bother me because I still sweat. And I was using, instead of like a fork, I was using, so I was using this, and I was just, picking it up and moving it around and eating. Well, what happened was a coworker told me her father made her sit in the kitchen table and taped the things to her hands to make her learn to eat all night. And I'm like, couldn't you just keep it to yourself? That I really didn't care to hear about. I don't know if it's true or not. It was just so crazy. And that's why I'm talking. People saying weird shit, and you're going, wow. All right, zip it. And you were just like baffled why they would want to tell you this because I really didn't ask for that information. I didn't care for it. If your childhood was shitty, you need to forgive your parents and move the fuck on. Because my mom's done stuff to me that was really bad. I think I ever moved on. I don't tell people about what my parents did and what they didn't do and what I wished for them to do. My dad's done everything that to help me. He asked me, he said, do you forgive me? I go, Dad, I forgave you a long, long time ago. He's really, oh yeah. Before we started talking, I forgave you because you just get in your depressed, crappy mood and you listen to, Voldemort or whoever, and you get in and you take them their thing for truth. And I go, you know who I am. I'm pretty much like you. And that's another thing I had to deal with. Someone believing that my dad wasn't my dad, it was somebody else. And I'm going, dude, I did the DNA test to prove that I was clear of that because he held on to me believing that I would get royalties and all kinds of money. He was expecting his big money gravy train wagon coming down the line, and it had my name all written on it. And I was like, wow, no. So when I did my DNA test, guess what? There's a reason why I sound like my Aunt Karen. Because I'm a part of the family. I'm part of my dad's family, the one I grew up, not somebody else. It would be a whole different thing. And I said, Jesus. My mom told my ex that certain person was supposedly my father. And it always made me laugh. And I said, Ma, you've done too many pills for too many years. Because, damn, girl, you will just nuttier than a Christmas fruitcake. My mom could not pull a wool over my eyes because I knew what kind of person she was, and I knew what kind of what she touted. And I know that my dad is a dad I grew up with, and when we get in fights, it was an equal fight because we fought the same way. It'd be like, Voldemort and Harry fighting with the same wands. There's no one wins. And that's what I told him. I said, we don't win. We just end up, having equal opportunity to know what pisses each one of us off. And that's pretty much what it did. In the end of my dad's life, the last 15 years, we did talk. And he helped me a lot. I had a Christmas that would have not happened. My dad sent me money. I said, no, Dad, I don't even have a bank account. So he sent it to Walmart. And back then, Walmart was different than it is now. They do Walmart to Walmart, and they don't even charge you. I don't think they do, but they charge a very minimum. My dad's like, well, I want to send an X amount so you can pay this and this. So he sent me money through Walmart, and I paid those bills without even telling my ex, because this is the deal. My ex, if you tell him my dad gave me money so I can have money in my pocket and pay some bills and have a good Christmas, oh, I wouldn't tell my ex that. My dad said no, because he always thinks that my family's made our money and we're just going to keep giving it up. And I didn't grow up that way. I grew up where you work hard. But it was really hard times to even find a job, let alone volunteering was almost, it was a joke. Everything that I had to deal with, it was just like, I got a lot of help from my dad, but I couldn't tell my ex because he expected my dad to keep helping like that. And I didn't grow up that way. We were on welfare. It was just a time that was really hard. And I think that a lot of it to do with my fault. I stayed married to him. I could have divorced him back in Michigan, but that would have taken forever. California, I don't know how long it would take, but god damn, Nevada is the place to get divorced because you can get divorced in under a year. Literally 6 months, you get everything back and it's all done. Boom, boom, bam. Seriously, that's the place to go for, because when you get divorced here, it's a fast thing. In most cases, I should have, when I wasn't even living at home, what I should have done was move back, get a lawyer and say, okay, look, I'm filing for divorce. I just want to get done. And before, I know the date that he's going to file, I move back home, I take care of shit, and I say, look, I'm filing for divorce. I'm done. If I would have done that before the holidays, I could have been divorced before the holidays. I could have been divorced many months, but like they say, you gotta look forward and look where to go from there. So a lot of people I have seen where they think, what's it called? Entitlement. They got an entitlement thing going. Even when you're going, like when I went grocery shopping, this one lady, you would have thought that they had toilets where we were, cashing out. And here we are getting ready to cash out. And she had to go to head of the line. I'm like, fuck you go, you're entitled. You got to go and take care of that. So if you have to deal with that type of entitlement, it's good to just let them have their way. Like everyone else in line, they kind of made a kind of, yeah, it's entitled. Dealing with entitled people, you just listen to them and you let them yak their mouth. to be told about sitting in a chair for hours to learn how to use chopsticks. You know what? That is serious mental problems you're putting on your kid, but also your kid's going to have to do something and learn to forgive. And most people who don't do that just gotta. Like I said, I forgave my dad a long time ago because I knew the company my father was keeping at that time. And Voldemort is not a nice person. It was when Voldemort screwed me over, it became better. Because I called my dad and said, yeah, you're right. And usually my dad was right. So, yeah, I had a woman complain about me smoking weed and burping and all, just stuff because, yes, my haters do hate me. I I have my friend Sarah, her mom. I'm the same age as her, and you would not believe it. I said, wow. She goes, let's do karaoke together. I go, you pick the bar, we'll go. I'm not going to be drinking. Oh, God, no. I do not drink and drive. So usually if I go to the karaoke, I'll have one little spritzer and nothing else. Because it's usually a 2 hour thing and I have to drive. If I have to drive, I am not going to be drinking behind the wheel. If you're in a place for over 2 hours, that's more than enough time to pee out what you have because I really don't believe in drinking and driving. Most times I just get an iced tea and call it a day and I don't have to worry about drinking and driving at all. Anytime you drink and drive, you get behind the wheel, you don't want to be high and you don't want to be drunk. So when I have friends that call and leave stuff in my car ever, and if I had some weed or I had some alcohol, I'm like, it's going to be a little bit of a while. I got to get off the weed and alcohol and let it go through my system before I can go. It'll be a couple hours sometimes. And it does happen. And I have told family and friends, there's no way I can leave at this moment because, well, I just had some weed and I just had, like an alcoholic beverage. So like I used to wait a couple hours after work when I worked daytime just in case something was needed so I wouldn't have to, worry about, a DUI. In the past, I've never had a DUI ever, like my past driving and everything. Because when you drive drunk, you end up having to pay. It's so expensive, and then you worry about running over people. Your reaction time is like way less. So you can hurt people. You're driving what my dad used to call a weapon of sorts. So that's what I always think of. Usually I have iced tea and I call it that in a day. And then when I get home, I can have my drink. You can always, it's tart. You can always wait to have your alcohol. I'd rather have my weed, but driving high is just as bad. I like my vehicle. I like to keep it nice. Oh, people do weird shit, and that's one of the weird shit I'm talking about. Here, right here, don't drive drunk. Holidays are coming up. So we have October coming up, November, and December. Those are the three biggest drinking days that I know of. And I know a lot of people want to drink, but you got to get a real designated driver. So, what I'm going to do is put myself out to make some extra money as a designated driver, where I think I'll just say, hey, I'll detail, I got to detail my car and clean it up nice and look for, say, hey, yeah, people are stupid. They get stupid prizes, and get on, my PD is here. So, oh, yeah, I'm going to go on my PD and act like I'm 5 years old. Get behind a wheel drunk, get behind a wheel high. I told yeah, I drive 5 miles an hour. I'm like the little old lady from Pasadena. Drive 5 miles an hour. No. Oh, I did it once too. It's like you always want to hear, I didn't know how stupid it was. I was surprised I wasn't even pulled over. I was driving, oh yeah, I was driving Crazy Christine's car. She's passed. She did so much drugs, and she was a severe alcoholic. I think she drove better drunk, but she drove drunk, and that's scary. All you need is one time. I never said anything to her. There was no telling her. She just had to experience the fun. She never did. People thought I had car problems. So what I did is I got in the middle lane and I got about 40 miles an hour. Went to Fairlane Mall. I borrowed my friend Crazy Christine's car because she was getting everything done on her nails, her feet, and her ass, and everything. I was like, shit, this is going to take 2 hours. So I drove down and went to the mall, bought what I needed, came back. And as I'm going back, my phone's blowing up. She's Karen. She was getting a ride back or trying to, and I picked her up and she was all bitching. And I go, all I did was went to the mall. She goes, how long did it take you? I go, oh, at first I was driving 25. We had weed when we were getting our nails done, but it was like what you call, we weren't used to it. This is before it became legal, yeah. And we had weed and gone and get our nails done, and boy, that stuff lasted forever. That's when I was like, I'm not doing no weed and driving. It was, I could have gotten in an accident or pulled over. I made it to the mall. I think I was so high that I didn't realize the time, to be honest. To me, the weed mind said you went. But I remember going around the mall kind of looking at shit, because when I get high, I realize I go like this. And I like to stare. Dang burping spiders. So I like to stare. I realized I probably took what should have been a 10-minute shopping trip was 45 minutes. But in my weed mind, it was right away. Weed is different. Time is different. It's weird. Like I said, we're talking about weird stuff. I had somebody come on here tell me if I had time, more or less, if I had missing time. And I go, no. And I never did. But they kind of wanted to insinuate that I was missing some time and something else was going on. And I'm like, nope. I've had people come on here who wanted to talk about werewolves and their mating. This woman, I already know her name. She was married to somebody. Well, she still is. She's married to someone who used to work at Aztec, and her name starts with an Alex. Alex is crazy as whole shit. Came on my channel and whoa, wanted to know shit. I told her not to come back. Oh yeah, she thought it was normal to talk about the reproduction of werewolves. I said, sweetheart, there is no such thing as werewolves, okay? But if you want to talk to like the Cryptic Animal Channel, maybe they know. Because I have no idea about that. She apparently has cancer. And I'm like, well, if you have cancer in your breast, you get an you get your breast taken out and you get an augmentation. You have to have them done every 10 years. So your insurance, because you've had cancer in the breast, will pay for them. So every 10 years, you'll be getting new knockers. I don't know what she's planning to do because that's, a personal thing. But she came on this channel over in this chat here, said, hey, I got cancer and stuff. And I said, oh boy, that's a private matter. You deal with family. You do not go on somebody's channel. She's just a whole lot of mental problems, and I get it. Yeah. She thinks she's normal talking about cryptid animals, which is werewolves. I said, shit, you want to talk about cryptid? We can talk about vampires. That's my side of the family. Want to talk about that? She shut up and never came back. She thought it was normal to talk about werewolves and their reproductive, things. And I'm like, wow. Yeah, I've dealt with Alex, and she is not all there at all. She thought I was after her husband. I'm like, oh, no, I do not go digging. I do not first want a married man. Number two, I don't go digging. He's a severe alcoholic, and I don't go digging the bottom of the barrel hoping for the best, because there's the only thing you can hope for is that he cleans up himself, and I'm just like done with that. I don't deal with that, and it's less drama. Oh yeah. So she got all upset one morning and got him fired because, yeah, keep it in the family. If you got stuff, you tell your friends and stuff, hey, guess what I heard? So and so got cancer. It makes you feel good. But she's lying to me. I'm like, bitch, you are crazier than shit. And then she showed the real true colors. She's talking about werewolves and stuff. And you're like, I'm sure there's cryptids out there. We have not really mapped out all the how can I say, we have not mapped out all of the animals on this earth. But I am not the cryptid zoological channel here. So she thought it was normal to talk about that. I thought she was nuttier than a Christmas fruitcake. Yeah, and that's why I blocked her on my phone, because I don't ever want to talk with her. I think she's nuttier than a Christmas fruitcake, but she thinks she's all right. That's weird. It's weird to go talk about cryptids as if they lived. And then she pretty much stated that she knew a werewolf. And what kind of weed is she smoking? It must be some good shit. That's the only thing I can think of. What kind of drugs is she using? Because my mom, when she was popping pills, she would come up with some wondrous shit. And she would tell my husband, and my ex-husband would believe this stuff. And I'm going, look, let's be honest. It comes from my mom, the big pill popper, and you're believing her? Oh, I took a DNA test of my son to try to convince him. I still think in his hearts of hearts he feels that even though I took 2 DNA tests, one from 23andMe and one from another one, what's it called? I keep thinking eHarmony. Ancestry. I took a 23andMe and Ancestry, and they said about the same things verbatim. I still have my aunt as my aunt. I still have all my uncles. There's no added uncle. There's no added anything. There's no big surprises as far as I'm concerned. So when it comes to dealing with what your parents say, especially you got to think where it's coming from. Like my dad used to say, always think when you talk with your mom, she's a user. That's what my dad used to tell me. She's a sociopath. Really good at it too. Oh yeah. Every job she had, she ended up being management. Boy, she didn't have to work too hard either. Oh, trust me. My dad said a couple words. It was nearing their divorce. Yeah, when he found out her shenanigans, woohoo, she was gone. Yeah. So when you're dealing with people who think their normal is your weird, yeah. No. Always at work, if you had a traumatic childhood, keep it to your fucking self. I don't care to hear it. I'm not going to be, I'm thinking, you need to forgive your daddy and mama and move on, honey, because I don't care to hear about traumatic situations. I really don't. And I don't mean to sound bad or, more or less that I'm not listening. It's just, I don't really give a fuck. I really don't. And it does sound bad, but I just don't. I don't care. Wow, it's been talking 3 months. Keep it all in the family, including your crap. If you're talking about it X amount of years later, you need to get and just pray for them and forgive them and move on, because if you don't, it'll eat you up. It will. My Voldemort, my other brother, yeah. Um, I'm still prettier. Yeah. My other brother, Erica, now it's my sister. All the years that Erica was skinny and stuff, never learned how to eat right, just did other vices to keep skinny. I finally was curious and looked under, Erica's. I guess I looked her up. I like to see how she's doing since she don't call me no more. And boy, I'm the better looking sister. Trust me on this. Way better. Oh yeah. Eric's gained a lot of weight. And being over 6 foot, it's not bad. But it still looks bad. Gain. I guess she doesn't do her drugs that she used to. It takes a lot of money, and she probably figured out you better dry out from that because you're not going to be getting that kind of money. So yeah, I was like, wow. Oh, I'm truly the better looking sister now. Yeah. So it made me feel good that day. I was like, what happened to going to the gym and living at the gym and, having. What happened was Eric, as a man, was real skinny and watched what he ate. And when he became a woman, got the breasts, I don't know what he did down there, but he looked like a woman, went through the hormone treatments, and became a woman. He was skinny for a long time. I mean, I was the fat one and he was the skinny one. Now he's the fat one and I'm the skinny one. Yeah. But he's over 6 foot tall, so there's just, you know, No difference. I'm 5'7", and yeah, my brother always was skinny, never had a weight problem. So I'm like, wow. It's not funny to laugh at that, but my sibling hasn't contacted me, and yeah, it is funny because it's always been about him. Yeah, my boyfriend likes me a lot. He says he got to figure out what we're going to do with our situation because he's in Canada and I'm here. Yeah, he says you probably got a lot of guys chasing you. I go, I don't got guys chasing me for a relationship. I got them chasing me for the wrong thing, and I don't want that. So yeah, after I'm done here, I'm going to eat, take a couple hour nap, and as always, hope for the best. I'm not worried about it. I I'm connecting with somebody, and they have been very helpful. We're just trying to figure out what to do with our relationship. Bacteria is chatting. Oh, yummy. Oh. All right. So we chat all the time now, and I know that when you have a relationship and guys don't put communication and they expect you to know, you're like, if you break up with me, if you say break up and just keep the memories, I'm like, cool, I move on. I hate to say this, I give it 2 weeks, and you have a chance to rebound in 2 weeks. And in that time, if you don't rebound, I turn around and get something new. Now, I usually wait less than 2 weeks. I gave this person 2 weeks. Do you know what that person did? Oh boy. Hired somebody that was a sociopath too. Just boom, boom. Oh, yeah, that was lovely. So, yeah, it made my day. Communication. This person thought I would know. No, I'm not going to know. People can change their mind in a nanosecond. I don't know what someone's going to do until it's done. So if someone doesn't like my 2 week thing, hey, if you don't rebound in 2 weeks, it's not my deal. Don't make me suffer for your stupidity. Communication. Ah.
Nâng tầm với công nghệ tiến vượt vượt bậc của chip Lexus Air Max. Chỉ 7.49% APR cho chiếc 2025 MX 250 Overdrive.
But I am going to have to start doing my yoga more often. Oh, I got a tummy on me, and I'm like been taking my hum lately. My Uber Energy is to help with my stomach. Show it that. The hum. I will take them home and take them not before going to work. I have learned my lesson. It was I got sick. Oh yeah, it's just sick with food, and a half a banana is not going to work. So yeah, I am on fire. and we're keeping good communication. I'm I'm amazed at, I would never, a good businessman or woman. Okay, I got stories about Chi-Chi's where I used to work. I used to work with some good looking men, really good looking. I'm like, why are they? Finally, I just asked the guy who was training me. These guys are all like bodybuilders. But oh, the last manager, the one that got fired for embezzling shitloads of money. See, she liked to go to dick bars. That's the only way I can say. They were male strip clubs. That's where they came from, the male strip clubs. She had stuff going with them, and yeah, they had a blast. Well, she embezzled money from Chi-Chi's to go to the male strip clubs, and she picked up new workers. All the workers, kid you not, look like muscular, good looking. I had eye candy. I remember one guy, he went to move me. He goes, ah, shit. He just moved me like this, like I was nothing. He used to say, if you weren't married, man, I'd be chasing you. And I go, oh boy. Yeah. And they were very respectful, though. It's just, I was like, wow. Now, some of them were what I would call the assholes of the universe. Yeah, they were what they call in the down section. There was a sunken in section over at the Chi-Chi's restaurant in Fairlane Town Center in Michigan, in Dearborn, Michigan. That was a flagship place, And what you did. Oh, please put a thumbs up and chat over here. Subscribe. It will be a different channel. I just need an Xbox. So anyway, what happened was she got all these guys, and some of them, it wasn't until, because she left 2 weeks prior to when I started working. So we still had all the old staff. Oh boy, that was a pain in the butt. I called them prima donnas. The prima donnas were always, I figured out a way to keep them away from everybody because they were really weird and they thought they were normal. This is back in the 90s. So they decided that they would agree with what I had going on. I started making decisions, and this is me only in 2 weeks. I'm going, yeah, just put them all in the sunken in place. That's all where they want to go. And then we found out the reason why is because even though we had cameras, we really couldn't see into the sunken in area. So management would come in there and babysit them. And they were prima donnas. They would give out free food and all kinds of shit that they weren't supposed to do. And they got caught finally. But it took months of watching. And I just put them in the section I just could deal with them. And it was great. I started out not as waitress. I told them I'd rather be cleaning tables and learning the menu. And even though I knew it, I was hired as a server. I used to work both things. I used to clean tables and serve, do whatever it took to make money back then. I wrote the manual for them, and it was through a different company, but I wrote the manual for them. I told them how things should be done there, the reason why, and typed it out. They made copies, and they accepted it. And I got paid pretty decent for that time frame until, well, let's just put it this way, until things got worse. You see, Rio Bravo's the one I wrote it for. Rio Bravo decided to let management do whatever they wanted. And in order to, okay, let's say you want to clean one of these and you're in, using Tide detergent is not good to clean dishes at home or in a business. The reason why is it doesn't come off. It's very thick. It's meant to go on clothes, to go in a wash, to be gurgitated and moved around. And when you're dealing with soap or even this, it's meant to wash easily off and not stay on your things. Because if you don't, if you use Tide to wash your dishes, you'll get Montezuma's Revenge. You look that up. I shouldn't have to say it's just you'll get Montezuma's Revenge and it will hit you really bad. And what happened was before I left Chi-Chi's, I told them, I see you got Tide there. You do not need to be using. You people will be getting Montezuma's Revenge and they will lose their business. And they did. They used Tide to clean their bar, you know, just the ones in the bar. They thought they can save money. And then they got put on Channel 4. You can check it out on YouTube if you want. WDIV Channel 4, Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant. You can put Montezuma's Revenge or the other, which is diarrhea. Yeah. Everyone thought they got food poisoning. No, it's just drinking. It's because their glasses were super clean, that you were drinking soap. And I was right that they were going to get in trouble. I didn't say nothing. Somebody else said something. It was a woman who said that was her first date. They went to Margaritaville because they had some good prices they haven't seen since the 80s. It should be a little warning. And they had a buttload of margaritas and went home. And she said they were going to get frisky. And suddenly both of them had to use the bathroom. And her exclamation was, you said you had one bathroom. Yes, somebody used a bucket. And we will not reuse that bucket again. I was like, yep, that was a good first date. That would have been me if I wasn't working there. I knew what was going on, and I told everyone that I knew that loved to go over to Chi-Chi's. In fact, at that time, my ex-sister-in-law was married to a guy that was the biggest tipper. So if I waited on him, I got between $100 or $50 tip. I enjoyed it. But I said, I don't know what they're washing with in the plates over in the kitchen, but I know it's not Tide. But in the bar, it's Tide. So either you stay away from all the margarita drinks and all alcohol drinks, or you just avoid that place. And he goes, you're kidding me. He told me Rio Bravo took over. It was good for about a month, but they were still using it was after the Chi-Chi's thing, using the Tide. Yeah, check it out on WDIV for Detroit. Yeah, they did a thing on it because that's how we heard about it. I was like, shit, I knew. I told the bartender, if you plan on having alcoholic drinks and you're washing with that, people are going to get Montezuma's Revenge, bro. I didn't say bro, but I go, that's a lot of problems. Okay. So here it is, Rio Bravo or Chi-Chi's they're not in business. Well, of course, I wasn't there for Rio Bravo. I was glad. I was leaving out the door as they came in. I went to the Olive Garden. I stayed there for a couple of years. Usually, if I get someone online and they're not putting the plus sign, I think that I have somebody who's either curious or a friend of me. So let's go and meditate and send some love to Prep and all the people that need it. So I'm going to do a quick meditation. It's only 5 minutes long. And we will imagine a ball of favorite color. Mine will be purple. It'll be at the end of my feet. It will relax our feet. our legs, our thighs, our chest, our arms, our hands, our neck, our head. It tethers itself to us and goes way down deep into the earth, into the mantle, and into the core. And it sucks up all that mother love, and it brings it from Gaia and comes up into our feet, our lower legs, our upper thighs, our chest, our arms, our hands, and our neck. And it comes up to our head and spews out, all out. And you can send it to friends that need the love, and to prom or wherever you live. And take back what's left and bring it to your heart. And say 3 ums. Now wake up. Wow. 3 people. 4 people. Hello. Welcome. Yes. Just rounded ourselves. Sent love out. Send out and get back. Like my dad used to say, you catch more flies with a good piece of... You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar, and it's truth. Good things coming to you. If you are a black magic person sending bad things to people and wondering why your luck is always shit, maybe it's because you're sending out shit and you get shit back. When you send out crap and bad things, it comes back to you. God damn, that's a lot of shit. God, I sent a lot of shit out, didn't I? So when you do send shit out, it does come back. And a lot of times it doesn't come back the way you want it. You know, and if your intentions are good in protecting somebody, sometimes it can be not a good thing. If you're sending out bad vibes, you're telling people that they're not good, you're sending out bad shit. You don't tell people bad things about other people. Let them figure it out themselves, my whole thing. You can warn them, say, hey, you know, this person's real intense. You might watch yourself around them, you know, like if you say certain things, they get triggered. Those are the things I say. I don't sit there and tell people that a person is evil and not give an explanation of what they did that was evil. Now, to them, it could be that they're evil and they're sending stuff out. Yeah. Hi, Carrie. You have a good week too, Carrie. Yeah. So when you're dealing with that, all you have to do, you know, you got to keep forgiving them because they keep saying stuff that's not good. And you keep praying for them. Maybe God will move it to where you don't have to deal with them. Maybe they'll get caught on their lies and they'll quit spreading rumors. Whatever it is, it's nice, you know, to have a good, you know, when you talk to your friends and stuff, it make them feel, when you have a good friend, when you leave that friend's house, you always feel good. You should never leave a friend's house feeling like shit. If you leave a friend's house feeling like shit, they're not a friend. All right? They are not a friend when you leave their house and you feel worse than when you came there. You should feel better. They should uplift you. I mean, on the average, they should. We all have our off days. We have our bitch days. And even me, I've been on here, I bitched. But on the average, we should be, pretty even kill. We shouldn't be. A intelligent person would never electronically stalk somebody because it's a waste of their time. An intelligent person would want to pour into themselves and not the other way around. And that's how I feel. If you are an intelligent person and you're spreading rumors, by the way, that's not an intelligent thing. I got better things to do in my life. So, I really do. Put a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. It really does. But boy, did I love working at Cheese Shoes that first. Ooh, the men were really, it was eye candy. I had to put them most of them I had to put in the segregated area. Yeah. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day and enjoys the Sunday. Even my haters, go and you can keep on hating me. I keep on loving. Spread all the rumors about me. I don't care. It is what it is. That's the way I look at it. I can't change someone, and you can't change me. And I deal with a lot of evil, and fighting them is very, very hard. It's a lot of praying, and a lot of times you have to ask people for help. I don't know, someone's leaving my house or whatever. I have 20 to 60% off other retailers' prices. Yes, keep a prayer in your heart and love. Keep a prayer in your pocket and love in your heart. Because sometimes you really do need it. And you know who your real friends are. The ones that you can call it whatever in the morning and they will answer. It's not that they could help. Sometimes they just can't. But at least they'll answer. And you'll have someone on the other end. That's when you know you have good friends. When you have bad friends, it's when you leave their house all the time. Not just once in a while. When you leave their house, the majority of the time, you should feel good about yourself. You shouldn't feel bad about yourself. When you feel bad about yourself and you're leaving your friend's house, that's scary. Because it means that you have somebody who's not a friend. When I ever leave Sarah's house, I always feel pretty good, Whenever I leave Savannah's house, I feel pretty good when I left. I had memories. I even bought this. This is naughty to me. So, have a wonderful rest of the day. Put a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. I really appreciate it. And keep a positive attitude. Don't spread rumors on anybody. Even how much you hate them, just pray for them. Pray for them. If you feel that they're not mentally stable, ask God to help them out. If you feel that something about whatever that you don't like, ask God for help. Don't go and spread rumors and make stupid choices. Don't drive drunk. Don't drive high. Don't play stupid games. You get stupid prizes when you play stupid games. That's the whole point. Yes. So, amen. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I am going, and I will be taking a nap after I eat because I'm starved. Bye. So you can keep on rolling.